If there's gold in the ground, then we can find it. Having prospected the area over recent months, I knew that there was gold in the river, but the question was, how much would I find today? And what happens to the gold when it's in the sluice run? So on this session today, I had a look, and it was fascinating. Well, hello and welcome back to another gold prospecting video, people. And I'm back at this Scottish burn here. Came here a few weeks ago and I found another likely spot. I like the look of this here. Let's have a quick gander. I'm on a curving left-hand bend with deposits, some heavy deposits here, and this looks like it could be a spot because we know there's gold upstream there, downstream there, up in the hills all around, and I've been prospecting quite a few of these little burns and there's gold to be found. It's not always epic, but it is there, and it's still a trek to get here. I'll tell you, you're always carrying a lot of equipment, whether you want a sluice or just do some basic panning. You need all that equipment just in case. I know that there I can sluice. I could set a sluice up there if I wanted to do, or I could just pan all these gravels, pan at a time, and probably find 3 or 4 specks every pan. So first things first, let me get this rucksack off. I'm here today to find a few specks of gold and have a picnic. I'm not here to sensationalise finding mega nuggets or anything like that, because I doubt it if I'll find anything bigger than about 0.2 millimeters. So let me get this off my back and get the waders on and the kit ready. That's better. So just straight away, I'm going to start working, cleaning all these dirty boulders up. I've also made a bit of a dam there for the sluice with some of the overburden. The sluice is set up, it's working well. It's just a case now of just washing these rocks. There'll be a line here I'm going to work across, going back about 2 foot. And then we'll meet the water. The water's already here. Just look at that disgusting, filthy, dirty, gravelly mess. Especially if you're new. Look for an inside line of the bend, look for these bigger, heavier pebbles dropping out like that, and the smallest specks of gold will want to follow a similar line. On this section there's also a level of erosion from a recent flood event. So that's where I'm at today with making this little video. But that is where the specks of gold are hiding, in there. We're not looking for nuggets, we're looking for where the gold is coming down this river, and we know it's up and down this river. So it's just a process now of digging, washing, sluicing. And if you're a prospector and you're an avid, keen gold panner, you know all of this. But people have to start from somewhere. And I actually enjoy just doing this. Just enjoy it, it's quite relaxing. And you're going to get a bit dirty as well. All that dirt there, get that washed off. This is your wash plant. That's your shaker deck. And the good thing about this little prospect today is the bucket's here, which weighs a ton, and the sluice is about 4 foot away. And already now, that's a piece of lead there that's shining. But these little specks here, right down the middle, that's all gold. I can see quite a lot of gold across there. So the ground's pretty good for what I want to be doing today. So the black top mat is an indicator. It gives you the first impressions of what's happening in the sluice. There'll be other pieces of gold there trapped in the riffles. You might not always see them. And again, I'll come back to this later on. Sluice really, really fast and aggressive. If you're not bothered, you can take your time and just do little amounts like that and give it its best chance of stopping everything that's coming down.
And not forgetting, the whole idea of sluicing is to process the dirt and get through as many buckets as you can.
I think it all depends on what you want out of the day.
That way you're not just panning everything all the time. It's about being as efficient as you can with the time you've got.
But I just like to come out to the river. I like just to listen to the sound of the water, look around at the wildlife, look at the scenery. The gold is always the bonus. Or did I mention the picnic? So we've now broken through from where the overburden was above the waterline to about 6 inches beneath. It's time to get the gravel pump out, or the sluice pump, the Henderson pump. And the good thing with these is that every scoop you're going to get, you know, if there's gold in it, it's going up there. On a spade, it could run out the side, still catch it. And they're a handy piece of kit to have. Various sizes, various diameters. At the end of the day, you've got to fill your bucket up one way or the other.
And in between the physical exertion of filling your bucket up, it's always nice to have that break, that little bit of respite, when you're feeding the sluice with the gravels.
Right then, I've been at it for about an hour. I've done roughly 3 buckets. You can see there where we're up to. There's not a fat lot really changed. So I punched down a little hole there, only a little one. There's layers of clay. Interestingly, in some of these layers of clay, there's some kind of oxidisation going on. And they do say that gold will ride the iron horse. Actually, looking at the top mats, there is a lot of fine gold across there.
And we'll look at the gold in the sluice in more detail later on.
There's lead and gold. I can see a lot. It's very visible. Same, just where the metal strip is, there's lines of little bits of gold across there.
For those of you who use a drain mat, they're much better for looking at the gold in the actual sluice run compared to this riffled setup.
But it's time for a bite to eat because I'm getting peckish. A bit overcast today as well. There's a nip on the air. They say when you get here and the sun's out, my God, it does get warm.
And so if you enjoy having a picnic beside the river,
yep,
leave me a comment below as to what your favourite sandwich might be.
Cool bag. You got it. Ham and tomato wraps. We've got banana, Kit Kats, things like that, and a cup of coffee. So it's time to get some energy back in the body to dig some more of that up. Cheers.
And like I said at the beginning of the video, this is an important part of the experience. It's time to reset, it's just time to enjoy the peace and quiet up here and listen to the water. It's quite a special moment, to be honest. And so having refueled my body, it was time to crack on. And the sun was starting to come out, which was a good thing, because it was a bit chilly whilst I was eating my sandwiches. It always intrigues me as to how many pieces of gold will be in that one little scoop.
I think it's time for the 3-prong claw.
When making gold panning videos, I'm always mindful of showing too many repetitive shots and sequences, because it's not good to watch. But what you've got to factor in here is the reality to trying to find gold. And a lot of it is physical, manual, hard labour. At the end of the day, I normally feel knackered. There's no other way of putting it, because you'll have shifted a lot of dirt, and you will have also had to put it back. But it's good practice to fill the holes that you've made.
Well then, the sun's come out at last. It's playing its part. Right, come with me a minute. So just down there, there's layers of clay, black clay and like coffee coloured clay. So looking in there, there is a lot of very fine gold, really fine stuff coming out. It's all collecting across here. There's a fair line across there now developing. Very fine stuff. So when I get the scoop, I'm just really gently feeding it left and right, and it does seem to be paying dividends. I'm in no rush, and again, I've probably said it many times, it's very therapeutic doing this.
But anyway, it was time for a clean-up, and I've been looking in the sluice for most of the afternoon. It was looking pretty good, but I thought on this occasion I'd have a real close inspection just to see what happens as it travels down the sluice run. And it opened my eyes, because I could find gold in almost every riffle, literally to the end of the sluice.
I mean, you've got quite a long run there, and if it's being overwhelmed with fine heavy particles, I can understand that at some point it will make its way further down. If it doesn't like that spot, it'll find the next spot. If you didn't like that flow part there, it'll find the next better flow part. These two wing nuts here can cause a bit of a disruption in the flow where it can kind of make a crossover effect here. Maybe that's part of the issue. So I can see a speck of gold right there. I can see specks here. Maybe some of it does go out the back, but it is that fine and that small. It's doing quite, I'd say, even at 95%, it's doing a good job. It is just really, really interesting to appreciate, you know, this is where most of the gold's caught here. You can see that very visibly. We're going through every riffle, there's almost like a piece of gold, albeit on this scale, hobby scale, small. Yeah, oh, that's interesting. Find it very interesting. There's gold there. Pretty much every riffle on the top mat's got a speck of gold somewhere. Lots of gold here, my God. Along that line there, there's a nice line. Couple of specks there. You can see it in here. Wow, look at that. Looks like a lot of gold in there.
Having looked at the sluice, I started to think that maybe I should do a clean-up every bucket when I'm on ground like this. But then again, if there's riffles all the way to the end, they're there for a reason, and that must be to catch gold.
That riffle there, that looks really interesting. And because the gold's that fine, this is right to the end. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th riffle from the end here. And there's gold there. I mean, I guess that's just where the cookie crumbles. There's even gold there.
And so next it was time for the clean-up, and I was confident that I found quite a bit of gold. But the question was, how much?
Now whenever I come to the river, I normally bring 3 pans. I've got a really small pan over there. I like this one, it's lightweight and get a lot of pans done with it. This one's a bit heavier, only slightly, but I use this one now on this kind of river with the heavies because of that lip there. I like the lip where when I get the angle right, everything can drop into that bottom point. The lip on this one doesn't seem to be as deep or as prominent, and more so these fine riffles here. When you get down to the really, really heavy materials, you can just gently pan across them and you can see literally the gold come to rest like it would on the top mat on there. So I prefer panning with this one on this kind of river with very fine heavies. I always pan into the second one and double check that, and pan into the third one because the smallest specks, they do come out. So I've got this down now to really fine heavies. And I use them really small riffles to just work away the lighter particles. I can see the gold already getting stuck throughout them minute riffles. It is hard to actually film that. You need specialist macro equipment to really capture what I'm trying to explain there. But I'll just work these materials. That's getting down to where I want to be. I can see the gold now coming through even clearer. It's a lovely, lovely bright buttery yellow colour. And that's near enough where I want that to be.
Well, let's have a look in more detail at the black pan. I think that the yellow powder is pyromorphite. And it's quite heavy, with a specific gravity of 7.04.
Can you see the gold in there?
Although they're all micros, to me the pan is absolutely loaded with gold. And a lot of other interesting looking pieces too. Looks like there's garnets, there's clearly pieces of quartz crystals in there, all nicely polished. There's also some very rich red crystals in the mix, plus what looks like larger pieces of magnetite.
So all throughout there, you can see the gold. Forget about that yellow mustardy colour. There's just heaps of gold. There's that lip I was talking about. Very useful.
I think I could do with a jeweller's loop to check things out. I've never really paid that much close attention like this to what's actually in my pan, but this is like micro rock hounding. So let's get back to the green pan to see if there are actually any losses there during the panning process.
That can go there, and then I always just double check this one, because there will be minute specks in there that will get through. It's inevitable. There's a piece there I can see just coming through now, a couple of pieces there that made the trip over the edge. And it's just a process then of cleaning this up, snuffering it up to give you the reveal later on. So as I dance there with the gold coming up to the top edge, there's about 10-15 pieces there. It's surprising. And you get that line there, then you can, that's near enough that. I can now snuffer this up to where I want to show you more of the gold further on down the line. Oh, crikey, don't lose that. Okay, time for a little reveal. It's pretty loaded and I've not worked that hard for this. I'm very, very pleasantly surprised how good the ground is, because I think there's a lot of gold there. It's just heaps and heaps of it. It's super fine, and I could look at them colours all day long. But can you see it coming through more and more so now?
It almost looks like an abstract piece of art. Beautiful colours.
That is really good. I like looking at that. Wow, yes. And the more that I play with it, you know, there's a show there.
So I had gold in the pan, the sun was coming out and it was lovely and warm, and I thought I'm going to carry on working here and dig a bit deeper. You could say this was the onset of gold fever. So let's get back to the final part of this video, but I wasn't happy with the gold I was seeing in my sluice.
Well, it turned out to be an absolutely lovely afternoon. Blue skies all around, a few white fluffy clouds. It was overcast earlier. It's perfect now. The only thing is, I've done a clean up, I put the sluice back in, run a couple of buckets, and I don't seem to be getting the gold anymore. Perhaps it was just on this very, very top layer. I mean, that's where your clay is. Perhaps I've scraped all the clay layer, the gravel's above it, and that's where it was lying. So at the moment, I'm not, crikey, that's in, I'm not getting anywhere fast at all. So perhaps I've done this section without going deeper and deeper, perhaps I've done it. So get some raking done, try and find the next little layer. Yeah, right, well, sluice pump now. Crikey, it's hard work, this I'll tell you. You burn some calories. See, like that there? I'm now drawing up that clumpy, snotty mud to clay. Got to break it down. So maybe this section isn't worth continuing with. I can see again there, it's still there. I've decided now just to get a bit lower down, further kind of downstream in this section. I've opened up the final channel that runs it away. So anything flooding through there now is washing off the top layer of clay. I'll try and rescue the gravels. Right on the clay layer there, that's a dirty brown clay layer with red in it. So I'll just get myself comfy now. Get this material fed down here. I'm getting really dirty. I'll have to have a shower tonight. It's all part of the fun though, isn't it? Okie dokie. The shadows are getting longer. I can't see any gold on the sluice. I found a trench down here. Got the clay either side. I punched through and it went down there quite deep. So I notched a channel between the clay layer and it just seemed to meet bigger boulders and stones all the way through. So I've pumped all that out, but I didn't get anything that I could actually see worthwhile. So it's time to get all that pushed back this way, pull the sluice out, do a clean up. This is the second clean up, just a sneak preview, but as you can see there, a load of that mustard stuff, and I could not see any of that gold at all on the top mat. I couldn't see it in the sluice. That is remarkable, amazing. I can see a piece there. It's just really small, but just amazing how much of it there is. That is excellent. Wow, just look at that. I'm getting speechless here. Really impressed. There's the second clean up. I didn't see any of that. I'm just totally surprised. There's even a nice piece there. It's not a picker, but it's definitely visible with this camera. And then let's add, and this is all from the first clean up. So, well, I'm happy with that. So that's not a bad day really. There's a lot of very fine gold there, so that's a good day. You can fill your pan with gold like that.
So there you have it, people. That's a nice pan of gold. And at the end of the day, it's all space dust. It's the stuff from the stars.
So that was the working area. I've pulled all the layers back. I filled all the holes I've been digging. Well, I've enjoyed that. It was a good day out. And the sun came out, played its part. And a nice bite to eat as well at the side of the river. All I've got to do now is get this big rucksack on and make my way up there over the back of that hill. So until the next time, people, and thank you for watching.